Great swathes of England under floodwater, torrential downpours and storm-force winds combining to cause massive disruption. And all after one of the wettest summers on record. In the ancient town of Malmesbury, the river Evron burst its banks, flooding the centre of town. Saturated local farmland meant the latest downpour had nowhere to go. David Whitby and his family had to flee their home in the dead of night.
Yeah, that's the high water mark there. Right.
He loves the river, but wonders now if he should move.
You just can't cope with it. You know, as I said, we were coping with 8 inches of water because, you know, we expect that. We live by the river. But when it's 3 feet deep and the electricity goes off and therefore the heating doesn't work and, you know, etc., it just becomes uninhabitable.
The British government's latest report into climate change says that flooding is the big challenge facing this country. Increased rainfall from changing weather patterns and a rise in sea level and the ill effects of building too close to rivers could make these kinds of incidents almost routine.
We're an island, and so we suffer from sea flooding and sea level rise, but also we have large floodplains in the UK which have historically been built on. And I think finally we're seeing a lot more paving over of green spaces in cities, which will exacerbate the problem because water has nowhere to run off when it comes down in these heavier bursts that we're seeing.
The government report says the way things are going, more and more people will be exposed to flood risk, 5 million by the end of the century, and the annual cost of repairing the damage, $8 billion a year. And then there's damage to businesses, the loss of farming land, and the impact on the country's road network. All in all, a huge impact on the country's economy at a time of deep recession. In Malmesbury, they're clearing up and mucking out, counting the cost of living close to the river they love, but wondering if their future lies elsewhere. Simon McGregor-Wood, Al Jazeera in Malmesbury, southern England.